Billy, can I just ask you from a board point of view, how significant a moment is this, because you're losing a man who's had a great 9 years with you?
Yeah, I think that's probably hard to put into words how significant it is. And I think when Jurgen joined us in 2015, he talked about leaving the club in a better place than he found it. And I think if you look at where we are today versus where we were when he joined us, there's absolutely no doubt that he's done that. And as he just said, he's going to be here for several more months. So I think from our perspective, obviously, the news is sad, as I'm sure a lot of our supporters share that emotion. He and I have had a number of conversations over the course of the last several weeks, and I think the first time that we had a chat about his decision, from a professional standpoint, but also from a personal standpoint, we've worked alongside each other for the last almost 9 years, and I could see, from my perspective, knowing him as I do, that this was a decision that he had come to and that he was absolutely comfortable with and believed in. And when your colleague and friend comes to a decision like that, then that's something that you support and respect.
Were you surprised?
Yeah, of course. But at the same time, I also, I think he said in the video the other day, last night, that really this is about. Everyone sees what happens from the outside, but the amount of work and pressure, and as he said, he's been doing this for 24 years. So surprised in a sense, but also I understand it. And as I said, it's obviously it's a sad day, but it's also one that a credit to Jurgen. He's come to the decision. He wanted to give the club the opportunity to go through what will be an orderly process, and that's not easy to do if this news isn't public. So we will go through that process, and as we have done in the past, the same process that brought us Jurgen almost 9 years ago, and that's something that we will do. We will do in private. That will be done with, as Jurgen said, the people that are here, our ownership, Mike Gordon in particular, will be a part of that process. And when we get to a place where we have further news on that, then we can discuss it at that point. But it's not going to be something that's going to be a running commentary. We prefer to, at this club, we prefer to operate. When we're ready to talk about things, we will, and until that point, we won't. And we won't talk about other people, and we won't get into the name game. This is really an announcement that Jurgen and we are making, and after today, we are focused on the campaign ahead and the opportunity that we have, and competing on four fronts, and making the 23-24 campaign something that supporters can look back on with enjoyment.
Billy, Mark Hogan, ESPN. Just in terms of the process of replacing Jurgen, do you have a timescale in place in terms of do you want it yourself before the end of the season, or do you want to be respected in terms of the team has to do what they have to do before the season finishes? And I know not going into the name game, but do you have a target in mind, an ideal successful role? Yeah,
no, Mark, appreciate the question. I think from our perspective, I wouldn't want to set an expectation, number one, because this is a process that we need to go through. As I said, it's a process that we have gone through in the past. The way we operate as a football club is to ensure that we've looked at all the information, all the data. We've done our proper due diligence, and then we'll make a decision and we'll have an announcement at that time. So I understand the question, but I can't commit to a timeline on it. It will go on in the background, and you can be sure that we'll be doing everything we possibly can to make, as Jurgen said, the right decision for the future of this football club. That's the way we've always operated, and that's the way we'll operate through this process. But at the same time, it's not to be a distraction. This is about making sure that this campaign continues, and that the team can continue to perform. And as I said, when we have something to say, we'll have something to say at that point. Hey, Chris.
A lot of supporters are comparing today to the Nigel Shankly announced leaving Kenny Dalglish. I mean, I don't know, I think you would agree that that is a fair comparison when all Jurgen stood next to you, but just to talk about the vacuum he's going to leave behind.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it earlier. I had a conversation with my son who said, I thought he was going to manage forever. So I can understand the impact, and as he said, the shock, and we'll have the right time and the right opportunity to, as Jurgen said, to look back and to talk about his career. Obviously, the ride that we've been on has been extraordinary, and certainly his success, leadership, who he is as a person, charisma, but the relationships, as he said, that have been created, the team that's been built here is obviously a massive credit to him, and we're all in a position, as I said, where we want to get through today, and we want to focus on getting back to playing and getting on the pitch and winning football matches. But in terms of his impact, obviously it's been enormous, and as a colleague, it's been an incredible last 8+ years, and as a supporter, as a fan, it's been equally so. So we hope that continues. We've got, as he said, we've got targets ahead of us, and that's where our focus is going to be.
Dave Lynch. So you mentioned in the statement, obviously, Pep and this all that stuff, the crowds were all really well. Were there any attempts made to sort of keep some of that experience on board? I'm thinking, maybe Pep kids or in terms of their roles, would it have been possible to keep them after getting more from the league?
Yeah, I think. Jurgen, you may want to comment on this as well, but I think from an overall perspective, the decision that was taken at the time, number one, I think for Pep and Vitor, want to get going in their managerial careers, and so I think that's something that we understood as well, and they'll be, obviously they will go. They're not going today. They will go with our support, and anything we can possibly do to help their career going forward, we will of course do. As I said, the team that Jurgen has built is an incredibly strong one, but there's also a huge team around that group as well that will be here to help in terms of that experience level as well.